It is an ancient disease, as old as humankind. Hippocrates described it as the falling sickness. Raphael depicted it in his painting in the 16th century, Shakespeare in his masterpiece Othello. Dostoevsky, who suffered from the disease himself, visited its torment in his novels. For centuries it was linked with mental illness and even possession by spirits. The stigma of epilepsy was severe.
Today we know that epilepsy is not caused by mental illness. It's not caused by demons. It's a disorder caused by an electrical disturbance of the brain. These electrical disturbances result in seizures. There are many types of seizures, and their symptoms can vary. A seizure can appear as a short period of unconsciousness, a staring spell, or a series of physical convulsions. Seizures can occur at any time and without warning. The sudden and unpredictable nature of seizures is one of the most disabling aspects of epilepsy. Under normal circumstances, nerve cells in the brain discharge electricity in a smooth, coordinated manner. During a seizure, electrical discharges become hypersynchronized, and nerve cells are unable to perform normal functions. Scientists have learned that this abnormal electrical activity is triggered by an imbalance of neurotransmitters, the brain chemicals that nerve cells use to communicate with one another. More research is needed if we are to translate this understanding of the brain into effective treatments for seizures.
Epilepsy hijacks the lives of more than 3 million people in the United States and more than 20,000 people in the greater Cincinnati area. Because 1 of every 100 people suffers from epilepsy, someone you know is struggling with this disorder right now.
Well, it's not just the seizures that cause disability in patients with epilepsy. Epilepsy causes memory problems, not infrequently in between seizures. And depression affects more than 1 in 3 patients with epilepsy. Medication side effects are common, and mortality is 2 to 3 times higher in patients with epilepsy.
At the Epilepsy Center at the UC Neuroscience Institute, we provide the most advanced treatments and diagnostics available while conducting research that could lead to a cure. We are a Level 4 epilepsy center, the highest rank possible. We offer the latest medications, 12 new drugs since 1993, with fewer side effects and unwanted interactions than ever before. But while new medications have controlled seizures in some people with epilepsy, no medication has been a true breakthrough. Up to 1/3 of people with epilepsy continue to experience seizures no matter which medication they take.
My seizures were under control with medication for a long time, and then one day on my way home from work, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the lights went out. I don't know. I had a head-on collision down a 4-lane highway. It was ugly. I was banged up bad. Broken leg, broken ribs, several lacerations. They had to sew my lower lip back on my face. It was a pretty scary event, and I just thank God nobody died in that event. You know, the cars were totaled. It was a mess. People asked me, do you know what happened? I couldn't tell you. Got no clue. Just gone.
When several medications fail to work, a patient becomes a potential candidate for epilepsy surgery. Preparation for surgery begins in the Epilepsy Monitoring Unit, the core of our comprehensive epilepsy center for the last 25 years. In this high-tech center, sophisticated computers and highly trained technologists monitor and analyze EEG brainwaves and record video of people, like John, whose epilepsy was not fully controlled. In a continuously monitored environment, medications are reduced or withdrawn, and seizures are allowed to occur. Electrodes may be placed in a grid right on the surface of the patient's brain. The goal is to locate the spot where seizures start and to determine whether that spot is close to or safely distant from important areas of the brain that are needed for speech, memory, and movement. Ever vigilant, technicians fly into action the moment a seizure occurs. Within 30 seconds, they inject a tiny dose of blood flow tracer into the patient's bloodstream. A brain scan then shows the areas of highest blood flow at the time of the seizure, helping doctors pinpoint the seizure's point of origin, also known as the seizure focus. If the seizure focus can be safely removed, surgery may be prescribed.
That's a tough road. You know, it's really a difficult thing to make that decision, but the problems associated with what I was having and the risk associated with surgery, there wasn't a question for us. We had to go have the tests. And to this day, I will encourage any individual with epilepsy to have the test, because you'll never know if you don't go have the test. And I've been very, very fortunate. And I thank God every day for giving those doctors the talent to do what they did for me. You know, I've been great. I've had no seizures. 19 years, no seizures. Life is good.
So what about people who aren't helped by medications and don't qualify for surgery? That's the major challenge we face today. At the UC Epilepsy Center, we want to discover why some medications work better than others, and how to determine which medication will be most helpful to an individual patient. My colleague, Dr. Jerzy Szaflarski, is a global leader in advanced EEG fMRI research that seeks to match patients and drugs in this novel way. We're also exploring the relationship between mood, stress, and seizures. The Pamela and Charles L. Shore Foundation for Epilepsy Research, based here in Cincinnati, has funded many projects and an annual workshop to stimulate research in the interaction of seizures and stress. We're grateful to the Shore Foundation for its support, because research provides hope for all people with epilepsy.
Epilepsy is common and serious, an ancient disease that is still with us. Funding for research is desperately needed. Your support today and in the future can help us find a cure.